All right, so what I'm going to do is explain how I get powder coat or paint off rims. So I'm just going to get to the point. Aircraft remover, steel brush, copper brush, paint scraper, and a metal tray to hold this stuff in. Alternatively, you can use the spray version, but you get about 18 ounces. This stuff's probably 10, 11 bucks. This stuff right here I think is around $13, and you get 32 ounces. So that's why I went with that. And of course, can't forget sandpaper. All the grits, starting from very coarse to very fine. All right, so basically getting started, you want to make sure that you mask off your tire. You don't have to, but if you don't, it's going to be really annoying. You're going to spend lots of time getting all this residue, all this paint powder, it's just going to be a mess. Okay, so how I like to do it is I like to get this metal brush and just get a bunch of that aircraft remover on it, and you just try to spread it evenly across the area. Just sort of let it soak. I mean, on the bottle itself, it's going to tell you works in 10 minutes. So that's how much you're going to let it sit. The other thing you can do is sort of get some sandpaper. Make sure it's good sandpaper and that it's waterproof. I mean, it's going to eat through this stuff either way. Just something that's just not going to melt right away, because this stuff is pretty strong. And just spread it like that. Just sort of use sandpaper regardless, even after you put it down with the brush, just so you can get a more even spread. But basically, once you let that sit, it's going to start to eat away at all the paint, clear coat, whatever you've got on it. You're going to see everything sort of start to crumple up. And that's going to be essentially when you're going to start getting your wire brush again, or your paint scraper, or your sander, to basically start doing away with all the paint or powder coat, whatever you've got on your wheels. So the thing that made it easiest for me was getting my Dremel tool and using a grinder bit on the end of it. This honestly has worked a lot faster than sanding and scraping. You still want to sand and scrape just to get it fine and get it smoothed out, but just using this tool itself is going to help a lot. It's going to make it way faster. But essentially, you're just going to keep going at it. Like I said, just sanding, scraping, and just going through the grits. I mean, it's really just going to be tedious, but it's going to be worth it. It'll come out nice. But that's essentially what you do. You just got to take a lot of time and patience to just let it sit. And just sand it all off and just keep repeating. One thing that's really useful is just keeping just a bottle of cleaner, degreaser, whatever it is, and just sort of spraying it off in between every sanding session. This just sort of basically gets stuff out of the way, so that you don't have a bunch of loose paint and powder just hanging everywhere. But essentially, you're just going to keep repeating that, and that's going to be, in my opinion, one of the most effective ways to get it done. It's roughly about a 2 to 3 hour job per wheel.